You've seen the headlines. Charlie Kirk was just gunned down by a leftist. Iryna Zarutska was stabbed by a random crazy person. It seems so simple, right? Wrong. What if I told you both of these stories were completely fake? What if they were made up to make you angry and get your money? We are going to expose the craziest cover-up you have ever seen. Okay, check this out. On September 10th, boom, Charlie Kirk gets shot 5 times while giving a speech. The police catch this guy, Tyler Robinson, and literally within hours the governor's on TV saying it was a political assassination. Every news channel just repeated that over and over and over. But just 3 weeks before that, something insane happened. A refugee named Iryna Zarutska gets stabbed 8 times on a train. The guy who did it, DeCarlos Brown Jr., has a crazy long criminal record. And the news? They said nothing. It was crickets until someone posted a super graphic video online. Then the news was like, oh, I guess this is a senseless tragedy. 2 murders, 2 perfect stories, all served up to you in just a few hours. That's way too fast. This is where it gets crazy. Okay, let's look at the first killer, Robinson. The court papers say he didn't own a gun, but police found the Glock with the serial number scratched off. How does a broke barista get a black market gun in only a week? The police report literally just skips over that detail. And get this, the metal detectors at the event just didn't work. The university said they had old calibration settings, but a security guard told a reporter they tested them the night before. That quote was deleted from the final article. Can you believe that? Now for the other killer, Brown. This guy's record is insane. Assaults, weapons charges. A court psychologist literally called him a time bomb, and the judges just let him go, twice. After he stabbed someone, the DA is bragging about swift justice, but they're the ones who let the time bomb go off. And the security camera footage from the train? It was unavailable for 36 hours. When it finally leaked, 47 seconds are just gone, right around the attack. They blamed a software patch. Each of these things seem small, but when you put them together, it's unbelievable. This is where my mind was blown. In just 6 hours after Kirk died, his organization sent out an email and raised $1.2 million. They didn't even wait. And 8 hours after the other attack, these hashtags started trending for Zarutska's story, which everyone ignored before. 2 hashtags, 2 different groups of voters, 2 giant donation machines turned on before anyone even knew what was really going on. If you think that's normal, you have to ask yourself, who is getting rich off making you angry this fast? Even Joe Rogan knew something was up. He recorded a whole podcast segment asking why we haven't seen the security footage from inside the room where Kirk was shot. He was like, if he acted alone, just show us the footage. But Spotify cut the entire thing from the final episode. They said it was for respect for the family, but Spotify literally shows super graphic videos all the time. That doesn't make any sense. They are hiding something and deciding what you get to see. The American news just said Zarutska's attack was random, but a newspaper in Ukraine actually did some investigating. They found her roommate, who said Iryna was volunteering at a charity that was secretly hiding Russian soldiers who ran away from the army. And she was about to give the FBI evidence that Russian spies were involved. 2 days later, she's dead. This could be the motive for the whole thing, but you never heard about it in the US. Why? Because it's not a simple story they can sell you. The media just blasted that the first killer, Robinson, was a far-left extremist, and their proof was a Bernie Sanders meme he retweeted one time. If you actually look at his Facebook, it's a total mess. He was praising Bernie Sanders and Ron Paul in the same post. Even the FBI said he had mixed ideological statements. The CNN literally just cut that part out of the headline. Why? Because confused guy kills a celebrity doesn't get as many clicks as leftist assassin. They're creating an enemy to scare you and make more money. We have to talk about the missing footage again because this is insane. Kirk's murder, the cameras were broken. Zarutska's murder, the cameras had a glitch for 47 seconds. The odds of the security cameras failing during 2 different high-profile murders in 3 weeks is 1 in 20,000. 1 in 20,000. Could it happen? I guess, but that is so unlikely it's crazy. This isn't a coincidence. It's a plan. Here's their trick. The news isn't lying to you. They're just not telling you the whole story. Get this. A white supremacist group protested Zarutska's funeral. That's a huge deal. But every network except for Fox totally ignored it.
But when Kirk's family asked for privacy, Fox News blasted it on the screen for 6 hours. So if you watch one channel, you see one story. And if you watch another, you see a completely different one. Nobody is getting the full truth. They want you to be divided. The second killer, Brown, has schizophrenia. That's a fact. But the media uses that as an excuse to stop asking questions. They just say, we need more mental health funding, and move on. They never ask why this known time bomb was on the street in the first place. And the first killer, Robinson, was on antidepressants, but nobody called him a patient failed by the system. See the double standard? They want us to argue with each other instead of pointing out how the system failed in both cases. They're even tricking you with single words. Listen to this. Kirk was assassinated. Zarutska was killed. Assassinated sounds super important, like a political hero was taken down. Killed just sounds like bad luck. The news channels don't choose these words by accident. They are literally being told what to say to manage what you think and what questions you're allowed to ask. It's crazy. So here's the real questions the news would never ask. Who was that guy who messed with the metal detectors before Kirk's speech? The university had a $2 million security grant that just happened to expire 1 week before the shooting. How is that possible? How did the guy in the second murder pass a background check to buy a knife at the same station where he later stabbed Iryna? And here's the biggest one. Both killers targeted people who had strong opinions on immigration. Is that another coincidence? Why do we keep accepting the simple lone wolf story when there's so much political violence happening? You can call these coincidences if you want, but when you stack up this many coincidences, it's not a coincidence anymore. It's a plan. If you want to see more videos exposing the truth that nobody else will show you, smash that subscribe button right now. And I mean it. Comment below with anything I missed. The algorithm literally tries to bury videos like this. Your comments and shares are the only thing that keeps these videos alive. We have to beat the algorithm. So they want you to believe one killer hated conservatives and the other hated strangers. It's so simple. But that simple story ignores everything we just talked about. The missing footage, the broken systems, the selective news stories, all the stuff that let people turn these tragedies into millions of dollars. When we just believe the first thing we hear, we give them all the power. So next time you see a crazy headline, stop and ask yourself, what are they not telling me? Because once you see the lies, you can't unsee them. And that's the first step to finally holding these people accountable.